There's a lovely story told about Mr. Malloy. This lady arrived in Westport, who had emigrated from Westport about 1930, and she arrived back in Westport, having emigrated to Chicago, and she went into what was then Walsh's, across the road from us, supermarket. Stephen Walsh's. And she spoke there to Ollie Hopkins, who was the manager there, and about how she'd left Westport 50 years, but she didn't know anybody anymore. And she found that very sad after such a long time. And Ollie said to her, go across the street to Shanley's and you'll find somebody working there who was there when you left Westport. So she went across to Shanley's, and she met, when she went in the door, Mr. Malloy, and he was still there. He was a very thin man, very fit, with glasses, and he still had his full head of hair. And he hadn't changed very much. He'd aged, of course. And she went up to him. She said, you might not know me, she said, but I remember you. And he said, give me a hint. And she gave him a hint as to who her mother was. And he said, yes, I remember you, he said. And he said, you came in here with your mother when you were 16 or 17. And your mother prepared you for emigration to America. And in those days, you had the American way. When you went, the chances were you never saw your children again. And the mothers of the girls, before they emigrated, would buy their daughters their wedding trousseau, so that when they got married in America, they would have their trousseau ready when they got married, and that would be their linens, their dresses, their underwear, everything. And her mother bought that girl everything in our shop. And Mr. Malloy sold her the huge old Titanic type travelling trunks with the huge big lids, and he filled her trunks in the shop, and the trunks were sealed in the shop in front of the girl and her mother. And then the trunks were sent up to the trains to the railway station in Westport, sent to Cove, and then she went along later, and she travelled by steamer to America, and she came and she remembered Mr. Malloy, and he remembered her, and doing all that for her.